Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this football Friday night. John Holder with you. Time to go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We have all the final scores of every game here in East Alabama, plus some of the big statewide games as well. We'll begin with this game from the Field of Champions in Piedmont in overtime. Sylacauga comes from 2 touchdowns down to beat Piedmont tonight. 32-31 in overtime. Highlights of that game coming on after the game. Westbrook Christian tonight. They win at White Plains 45-16. We will also have highlights of that game coming from Robertson Field at White Plains. Cedar Bluff headed to the Class 1A state playoffs. They beat Donahoe tonight at LD Bruce Field at Cedar Bluff 45-7. Big game tonight, number 7 in 4A Jacksonville hosting number 8 in 6A Oxford. It was all Oxford tonight. They beat Jacksonville 36-7 at Golden Eagle Stadium. We will have highlights of that game on the way. Big upset tonight. Cleburne County is now in the Class 4A state playoffs. They are the representative in Class 4A Region 4 in the number 4 spot. Cleburne County tonight wins on the hill on senior night at Welborn 28-22. Highlights of that game coming on after the game. Sachs tonight gets their first win of the season. Congratulations to Coach Alfonso Freeney. He gets his first win as the head coach at Sachs. Sachs comes from behind to beat Talladega 29-27. Highlights of that game also coming on after the game. We'll have highlights of this game from last night out at Pleasant Valley. Weaver ends the season on a positive note as they win 47-0 over Pleasant Valley. Tonight, Randolph County wins at Ranburne at Harlan Robinson Stadium 49-21. Just down the road at Woodland, an all Randolph County battle. Number 6 Wadley beating Woodland tonight 56-21. Clay Central tonight. The Vols, number 3 team in the state, the first undefeated regular season in school history as they win at Wetumpka tonight 28-7. Some new scores coming in. These are 2 new scores. Fayetteville tonight wins at home at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville. They beat Holy Spirit Catholic out of Tuscaloosa 47-0. And Winterboro with a bit of an upset possibly. Winterboro, the 1A beats 3A Childersburg tonight down at Winterboro. The final score was Winterboro 24, Childersburg 20. Couple of Thursday night games from last night involving teams here in East Alabama. And Talladega County Central beating Galesville 24-6 last night. That was up at Galesville. And also another Thursday night game last night, Munford. They were a winner over Asheville last night at Ken Logan Stadium in Asheville. 35-21. Munford ends the season 3-7. Asheville ends the season at 0-10. Back to games tonight. This is a new final. Beauregard tonight beats Lincoln 37-7 down in Lee County at Beauregard. In overtime tonight, Springville headed for the Class 5A playoffs. Springville beating Pell City 31-28 in overtime tonight. Coosa Christian, number 9 team in 1A, they're headed for a showdown with Spring Garden in the first round of the playoffs next week. We'll talk more about that later. Coosa Christian tonight in Gadsden beats Victory Christian 49-0. Dora up in St. Clair County tonight. As they go to 8-2, St. Clair County falls to 3-7. Dora wins the game 47-27. Fort Payne upsets number 2 in 4A Cherokee County tonight in Center 21-14. The Gaston Bulldogs end the season with a win at Shinbone Ridge at Gaston. They beat Brindley Mountain tonight 61-42. Sardis tonight, a huge win on the road at Hoax Bluff 42-20. The Lions beat the Hoax Bluff Eagles. Hoax Bluff 5-5, but they're headed for the Class 3A state playoffs. The head coach of the Glencoe Yellow Jackets, Scott Martin, going to join us here within the half hour or so. Glencoe tonight wins at home at Wilson Darnell Stadium as they beat West End 48-28. Southside and Etowah, this is now a final. Huge win for Southside, number 8 team in the state in 5A. They're the region champions out of Class 5A Region 6. They were down 27-17, scored the last 28 points of the game to beat their bitter arch rival Etowah tonight at Jim Glover Field in Attala, 45-27. We will have highlights of the Glencoe game. We will also have highlights of the Southside Etowah game. And the head coach of the Southside Panthers, Miles Holcomb, will join us right here live tonight on After the Game. 3 games from last night around the state. Top 10 matchup, number 2 in 2A5, beating number 7 in 3A Sylvania last night at Sylvania, 21-10. It was Mountain Brook last night, falling at home to Baker. The number 8 team in Class 7A, Baker, beats number 6 and 6A Mountain Brook 37-28 last night in Birmingham. And also last night, number 6 and 7A Vestavia Hills, they beat number 9 and 6A Helena by a score of 44-0. Let's tell you about the fine folks at